Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 14 in season number 6 of the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Kentucky Speedway for the Tire Rack 400, a 54-lap race around this 1.5 mile speedway in Sparta, Kentucky. And this is definitely one of the more interesting races of the season, especially was last season in the inaugural event here in Kentucky. Won on fuel strategy by John Orange driving the 95 that season, only his second race of the season that season. This time, John Arney starts last in the field, but that does not mean the strategy will not be a factor in today's race. Remember Las Vegas, earlier in the season, that was a fuel strategy race near the end. Some guys came down coming to the white flag, and Cody Sills stole the victory. We might see something similar to that here today, especially if the caution happens to fall at the perfect time. And when we come here to Kentucky, cautions are not too frequent. And if you get one caution, that might be the only caution of the race. And if it happens at the right time, it can become a fuel strategy race near the end of this one here tonight. Anyways, coming into today's event, Isaac Nichols, two-time winner this season, is the points leader. He has 323 points towards the championship. Stuart Gratton is 6 points behind in the number 37. Ace Garcia is 9 points behind. Daniel Bouchard, 15 points behind. And Marty Johnson, 23 points behind coming into today's event. Ricky Stevenson, Cody Sill, Caleb Hoffman, Blaine Keys, Al Lagacy, Elijah Gordon, Cameron Garlington, Matt Delio, Alexander Rowe, and Isaac Nichols are the 10 drivers locked into the chase heading into tonight's race. Only 3 more races remain in the regular season, only 3 more chances for those guys to race their way into the chase before it begins, which is going to begin next Wednesday. It's coming up pretty fast. On Saturday, it's the last race of the regular season in Indianapolis. I'm telling you, the regular season, it's just gone by really fast. It just really has. And, yeah, some of these guys, they know that their time is coming, and they definitely would love to get a win to lock themselves into the chase. Anyways, let's go ahead at trackside for the command to fire the engines here in the Tire Rack 400.
Drivers, start your engines.
And a great command there to fire these guys up for the 14th race of the season. And it's looking a lot like the 7th race of the season. Actually, no, it was the 6th race of the season. The Colin Driver and Matt Delio on the front row as those two guys battling for the win at Rockingham earlier this season. And they're going to start alongside each other here for the Tire Rack 400. Jonathan King, Jesse Turner starts alongside each other in row number 2. Daniel McMillan and Alexander Rowe, our last winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He won in the Valvoline 400 on Saturday. He's going to start alongside the 95 in row number 3. Al Lagacy will start alongside Stuart Gratton in the 37. Trey Bartow alongside Marty Johnson in row number 5. We will reset the field so that the number 96 of Dale Salzman can start the race here for the Tire Rack 400. We are back, and all 40 drivers will start this race here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway. Race 14 of the season. The season is closing in fast. We only have Kentucky, Nashville, and Indianapolis left in the regular season. And at the end of the Indianapolis race, we will determine the 16 drivers who will qualify for the chase in Season 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Part-time driver Colin Driver will start alongside Rockingham winner Matt Delio on the front row. We're green flag racing here in Sparta, Kentucky. The number 33 of Jonathan King gets to the inside of Colin Driver on the first lap and leads lap 1 here in the Tire Rack 400. Number 95, Daniel McMillan right behind him. Alexander Rowe, our last winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He won at Daytona. He's locked into the chase. He's taking that momentum and bringing it here to the Kentucky Speedway. Number 27 up the third. Daniel McMillan. He feels like one slipped away from him at Road America. He's going to barely edge the number 33 of Jonathan King at the line for lap number 2. It was this number 95 who won at this racetrack last season with John Arndt driving the machine. And it looks like this team has a pretty fast car that they bring here to Kentucky every single time. Of course, this is only the second time the Chick-fil-A Cup Series has come here, but McMillan leading the field right now here in Season 6 at Kentucky. Alexander Rowe up to second, pole sitter Colin Driver back to third, Trey Bartow, Dane Ammon, the top 5 right now here in this race. Cody Sill, he won at Las Vegas. That was the last 400-miler, 1.5-mile race. And Cody Sill won that race there on fuel strategy at Las Vegas. They're 3 wide back in here as Jonathan King falls back in the 33. Got shuffled out of line there. And Matt Dallio, he started on the outside pole. Well, he is dropping like a rock right now in the number 88, outside the top 20 for the Rockingham winner and the Season 4 champion of this series. And Dallio continues to slip up as he's stuck in that outside lane. The outside lane here at Kentucky does not have much grip at all. You're going to see Trey Bartow fall back here in the number 4 as he went way up the racetrack in turn 2. And for the lead, Alexander Rowe, he might get a run to the inside of Daniel McMillan. He's going to get into him a little bit there. But the number 27 is going to get a run to the inside, and I believe he's going to take it here on lap number 5. But here comes Colin Driver, the pole sitter, going 3 wide for the lead here at Kentucky. The racing here at Kentucky is a lot better than the real racing in Kentucky in real life. They go up the racetrack, they slide around, but they don't crash too much. We did not have a caution in this race last season, and I do not believe we've ever had a caution at this racetrack, at least at this version of the Kentucky Speedway while we've used it. Of course, there's only been a couple races at this version of the racetrack, but still, the racing is fantastic. And we don't crash fest like we did at Rockingham, or actually no, at Richmond, and that's a good thing because I do not like to see these guys crash like crazy in every single race. Anyways, Colin Driver out front in the number 55. Then it's the 27 of Alexander Rowe, Jonathan King, Reagan Whitlock, and Caleb Hoffman. He's been doing really good lately in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after winning that race at Pocono. Definitely wants to get as many points as possible heading into the chase, so he can get as many playoff points as possible for the chase. Number 14 right now running in the 5th position. Then it's Dane Ammon. Here comes Al Agassi and Tristan Allen on the inside lane. I'm telling you, Tristan Allen definitely wants to turn his season around. This number 2 team, they are still last in the points of all the full-time drivers. And a win is all they need to lock themselves into the chase. Middle lane might work here for Tristan Allen through turn number 4. And look at the way they race here, 3 wide. And these lanes work so much differently compared to each other. The inside lane definitely gets the run, but the middle lane can get the run on the outside. And the outside lane just completely falls back, as you see, with the 2 falling back up there. And Tristan Allen falling back right now in the number 2 as he got stuck 3 wide on the outside. Back to the lead. It's still Colin Driver in number 55. He feels like one slipped away from him at Rockingham. But right now he is in command here at the Kentucky Speedway in race 14 of the season. And it's Daytona winner, the Valvoline 400 winner, our last winner, Alexander Rowe, Jonathan King, Pocono winner Caleb Hoffman, and Dane Ammon, who almost won the Valvoline 400 on Saturday. But right near the end of the race, Alexander Rowe made it 3 wide for the lead and took it away from the 51 and the 23. Rowe is trying to get the run to the inside of Driver here for the lead. He's got a great run off at turn number 4, and he's going to push by this 55, entering turn number 1. Lap 10 led by Driver, but Alexander Rowe will take it away from him on lap 11. That's going to open the door for Jonathan King, another guy who needs a win this season to lock himself into the chase. He was running very well on the points earlier on in the season, but the past couple of races have not been the best for this team. And Christian Masher, the owner of Circle Sport, definitely would like to see his driver, Jonathan King, race his way into the chase as a single-car team. Of course, Caleb Hoffman, he's looking for his 2nd win of the season. He could have pulled it off at Road America, but strategy did not work out too well for him there. He had to make 3 stops in that race and finished mid-pack. But he did lead some of that Road America race on Friday. He just got around the 55 of Jonathan King for the 2nd position, and now he's going to have his eyes set on the number 27 of Alexander Rowe. But Jonathan King might try to get back around this 14 and take that position away. Reagan Whitlock runs in the 4th position right now for Furniture Racing and Nathan Stapleton. And Simon Nichols, the owner of BK Racing, definitely very happy with the result of his team lately. They lead in the owner's points, and Isaac Nichols leads in the driver's standings as well. He is up to the 6th position in the number 83, actually 5th right now, for the 2-time winner this season for BK Racing. Colin Driver fell back, but he's now up to 6th again. Dane Ammon down to 7th, Cody Sill, Garrett Sinor, and now Al Lagasse rounds out the top 10 here at Kentucky, lap 14 of 54. And Caleb Hoffman has just driven to the inside of Alexander Rowe for the lead. And lap 14 is most likely going to be led by the retiring driver at the end of the season, Caleb Hoffman, driving the number 14 for Igor Barreto and Stuart Haas Racing this season. And he got around that 27 really fast, and Alexander Rowe's now going to fall back on that outside lane. That's what happens here at Kentucky. They spread out here at Kentucky, but if you get stuck in the outside lane, you're still going to have a lot of guys pass you. Isaac Nichols looking to take 2nd away from Reagan Whitlock. Jonathan King currently running in the 4th position right now. And he's got a draft with Isaac Nichols trying to get to the inside of Whitlock for 3rd. He is going to take that position away. Driver trying to move his way up. Garrett Sinor. It has been a rather long losing streak for Sinor. Well over 2 seasons for what was the all-time winningest driver, but he's now tied with Caleb Hoffman for that title. Of course, if Sinor or Hoffman were to win tonight, they would flat out become the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan in this race. Sinor running in the top 10 right now, running 7th for Luke Rainey and Roush Fenway Racing. Cody Sill runs in the 8th position. Al Lagasse and Dane Ammon round out the top 10. But out front, it is still the number 14 of Caleb Hoffman, leading lap 16 of 54 in the Tire Rack 400. Alexander Rowe to the inside of Jonathan King for the 2nd position. Here comes Colin Driver for 3rd. Reagan Whitlock and Garrett Sinor on the inside lane. You do not want to get stuck on the outside here at Kentucky. You just slip up the racetrack and fall back like a rock. These guys are going to come down the pit lane here shortly for the first stop of the night. It's going to happen about lap 20 of this race. Caleb Hoffman still leads in the number 14. Driver back up the 2nd as he's gotten around Alexander Rowe. Sinor is up the 4th in the number 6 as Nichols looks to take 5th. The number 83 will get around Reagan Whitlock for the 5th position. Whitlock running in 6th. Cody Sill, Al Lagasse, Dane Ammon, and Jonathan King rounding out the top 10. Daniel Bouchard runs in the 11th position. And I believe we're going to have a crash. Nichols and Sinor in the outside wall, and Sinor's around in the number 6. They were trying to come down the pit lane. More contact as Ace Garcia and the number 37 of Stuart Gratton went around. And they were trying to fan it out, trying to come down the pit lane, and right when these pit stops are going on, they crash. My goodness, that was not the best of results right there for some of these guys. Sinor around in the 6th. He had a great run going for him. And this is going to majorly shake things up. Jesse Turner with damage. Stuart Gratton with major damage in the 37. Eric Almenhart in the 15. And the first caution ever here at the Kentucky Speedway in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Now, all these guys who came down the pit lane right when that caution came out should actually just stay on the lead lap, and they should not actually have to start behind the pace car, because they're all going to beat the pace car off the pit lane. So these guys are still good to go after that caution. If anything, they might actually take the lead. Alexander Rowe won the race off all those guys who came down that time, I believe. Actually, I believe Colin Driver is saying that he did. So Colin Driver might be the leader once this whole thing cycles through. Anyways, off the pit lane here, side by side between Whitlock and Hoffman, and Reagan Whitlock will win the race off of the pit lane of the guys who did not come down before the caution. So, the leader will in fact be Reagan Whitlock. He did beat out the 55 off the pit lane. Hoffman will be 2nd, and it's going to be Driver. How about John Arndt? He won this race last year, and he has moved his way up in the field in the number 24. But anyways, a very unfortunate incident between Garrett Sinor and Isaac Nichols. They were spread out trying to come down the pit lane. Some guys on the outside wanted to come down. Some guys on the inside did not want to come down. And that's when you get these crashes to occur at these racetracks. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the first caution here in the Tire Rack 400. And this is what happened here. You're going to see Reagan Whitlock on this inside lane here. He's going to push Izzy Nichols up the racetrack. Garrett Senor wants to come down the pit lane as well. He's way up the racetrack. Nichols does not want to come down the pit lane. And you see what ensues there. They both get into the outside wall. Now, that did not bring out the caution, but it's when Senor still tried to come down the pit lane and got into Al Legacy. Legacy avoided much contact with the wall, I do believe, but Senor went around, triggering the caution lights, and I believe a similar situation happened back in here. Ace Garcia got spun around, and you see Stuart Gratton unfortunately get involved there. Eric Almenhart with damage, and Jesse Turner in the 43 also piling in as well. Other than that, I believe those were the only guys that were majorly involved in this crash, and somehow you see all these guys trying to get around Stuart Gratton here. It did not end up being a major incident like it could have been with guys running into the 37. But anyways, the unfortunate result of guys trying to come down the pit lane and guys wanting to stay out there on that lap, and Senor going around in the number 6, triggering the first caution of the night here at Kentucky. Replay this one in real time. You're going to see Senor go up the racetrack in anticipation of coming down the pit lane, and these guys to the inside of him wanting to stay out. It's a very unfortunate incident there. And then back in here, you're going to see Garcia go around off the front bumper of John Hart. We did not get to that incident very well. There's so many guys coming down the pit lane. Hard to really focus on what happened. But we'll go ahead and see what happened right now. And a similar situation with Ace Garcia. He was high on the racetrack, tried to come down the pit lane. John Hart was there, and around they go. Garcia, Gratton, the major guys involved, and something might have happened to Turner that was not related to the incident, because right after that crash, he ended up having a piston issue. I'm not sure if it was because of the crash or not, but the 43 is also that he does have damage, so this was probably a result of the accident. A tough break for the Season 2 champion. And Eric Almenhart, the California winner from earlier this season, also torn up as well. Anyways, the leader of the race should be the number 78 of Reagan Whitlock. He won the race off at the pit lane from Caleb Hoffman and beat out Colin Driver on the racetrack. So the 78 of Reagan Whitlock will lead the field of the restart when we come back here to the Kentucky Speedway for the Tire Rack 400.
Like a seasoned driver behind the wheel, Hers chips take you from caution flag levels of hunger to checkered flag feelings of satisfaction. When it comes to race day snacks, the signature crunch and endless flavors of Hers leaves the competition in a pile of chip dust. Don't settle for anything less than the champions of the chip aisle. Hers, forever good. Available at Menards.
Back here at the Kentucky Speedway, Reagan Whitlock, a one-time winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. That came all the way back in Season 1 in the finale race. And it's been a while since Whitlock has won here on Napa Fan. He has never made the chase before, but if he were to win here tonight, he'd make it into the chase for Nathan Stapleton and Furniture Row Racing. Right behind him, it's the finale winner from last season, Caleb Hoffman, in his final season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. The number 55 of Colin Driver, defending winner of the Tire Rack 400, John Arndt, Matt Dalio, our last winner, Alexander Rowe, Daniel McMillan, Zachary Fitzwater, Tristan Allen, and Daniel Bouchard, the top 10 coming to the restart here. Lap 22 of 54 right now. We're going to restart on lap 23 of the race. And it's going to get interesting here with that lapped car of Ace Garcia on the inside lane. Garcia, I believe, is the only guy still left on the racetrack that was majorly involved in the crash. Almenhart do fit with a problem in the 18. We did not necessarily see what happened there. Jesse Turner and Stuart Gratton all out of the race. Senor managed to stay on the lead lap in the number 6. He starts at the tail end of the field. Back up front, Whitlock getting around the 23. John Arndt is stuck behind Ace Garcia right now. He's going to try to get to the inside of him here. And the two Hendrick machines splitting the 23, entering turn number 3. My goodness, they're going to go 4 wide. Now, this racetrack is a rather wide racetrack, so you can go 4 wide here and get away with it. But Matt Dalio certainly did not get away with that. He started on the outside pole for this race, fell back. He was running up front again. Fell back as he got stuck on the outside yet again. There's still 4 wide back in here. They're going to fan it back down to 3 wide. John Arndt got stuck on the outside here. He's still trying to get around Ace Garcia. A lot of these guys on the inside lane are getting around the 23 just fine. Back out front, it's a 3-horse battle for the lead. Whitlock, Driver, and Hoffman. And Reagan Whitlock holds off the 55 and the 14 for now. Hoffman not wasting any time on the 55 to the inside, entering turn 1 for second. And Caleb Hoffman will clear the 55 of Colin Dryber as the 78 continues to lead here at the Kentucky Speedway. I'm wondering, too, guys like John Arndt, they might not have taken tires on that pit stop, because I do know that Arndt was a little ways back at the start of the race. And Dalio the same. They are both falling back on the outside lane. They just cannot get to the inside lane for some reason. Dalio will finally get to the inside of Ace Garcia and surpass him. There's a few laps to go. He tried to get around him on the outside lane. That's when Dalio fell back. And now Dalio has finally surpassed the 23, but he is outside the top 20 yet again. Driver to the inside of Hoffman for second. The number 55 is going to take it away. Lap 26 of 54. Here comes Alexander Rowe. He's right now running fourth. Tristan Allen runs in the fifth position. Noah Cars, Richard Kinghart, Adam Lewis, Daytona 500 champion Cameron Garlington, and Hairgel Arvin Alonso right now in the top 10 in the number 10. Single file in the top 10 right now. Then it's this madness back in here for 11th. 41 of Zachary Fitzwater, Alonso's teammate, up to the 11th position. And you see all the madness back in here. Dalio and Arndt on the inside lane with their teammate, Elijah Gordon. Those Hendrick guys pushing their way on the inside lane. The only Hendrick guy who has yet to win this season is the number 24 of John Arndt. And I believe he knows that pretty well. He would love to get a win and make it so that all 4 Hendrick drivers for John Andrews can make it into the chase. I'm pretty sure John Arndt definitely wants to do that. That number 24, however, has never won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before. One of the few numbers that is especially raced in every single season of this series to have never won a race. One of the unluckiest numbers, unfortunately, here on Napa Fan. And that's quite ironic because originally this was NA24 fan. And I'm still a Chase Elliott fan, still a big Chase Elliott fan. But that number 24 has never won, never really had too much success, with the exception of the 500th race, where John Arndt took 24 to victory lane in that one. It is still Whitlock out front. Here's a guy who is on a mission. Second place is going to change hands. Tristan Allen trying to win his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. He's to the inside of Caleb Hoffman for second. Noah Carr is trying to win his first career Napa Fan race here tonight. The number 3 and the number 2, both trying to get into the chase. I'll say this, both of these guys, they are pretty high up in the fan vote right now for the All-Star race. But if they win here tonight, they're not going to need that fan vote because they're going to be automatically in the All-Star race if they, in fact, win a race before the All-Star race on July 10th, next Monday. Noah Carr's on the inside, Tristan Allen for second, but Allen's going to stay on the inside lane here. He's not going to lose any more positions. He's going to stay right where he is and not fall back on the outside. Hoffman, and now Alexander Rowe is the highest rookie right now, driving the number 27. And he's coming off of that win at Daytona. A very good win for the number 27. And he's going to draft these guys and possibly close in to gain more positions. Noah Carr is right behind Whitlock, but it's been all Whitlock since the restart in the number 78. And Reagan Whitlock definitely doing a great job trying to win his first Chick-fil-A Cup Series race since Homestead in Season 1. Here comes the number 3. Here comes Tristan Allen in the number 2. I guarantee you that both Noah Cars and Tristan Allen want to win here tonight. And how about Tristan Allen? 3 wide for the lead. He leads lap 32 here at Kentucky with that very brilliant pass to the inside of Noah Cars and Reagan Whitlock. Cars and Whitlock slide up the racetrack. Here comes Hoffman trying to take third and second away from those drivers. And I believe Hoffman's going to be able to do so. Hoffman for second. Here comes Alexander Rowe, trying to get to the inside of Hoffman for the second position now. As Hoffman got around Noah Cars. Cars is stuck on the outside lane with Reagan Whitlock. Here comes Cameron Garlington, Colin Dryber, and Hairgel Arvin Alonso. Alonso, another guy who definitely wants to get a win here. A lot of guys trying to get chase spots, and a lot of guys who have not had too much success in this series trying to get chase spots, like Tristan Allen, Hairgel Arvin Alonso, and Noah Cars. Allen still leads with now 20 laps to go in the Tire Rack 400 here at Kentucky. Alexander Rowe's going to get a run to the inside, but no, not yet. Major damage on the number 17 of Jordan Lopez. Excuse me there for kind of blanking out for a second, but was not expecting another caution this, well, it wasn't really that quickly, but I was not expecting another caution, and this is exactly what I was saying, guys. We could have a fuel strategy race if the caution comes out at the right time, and we're about 20 laps to go right now. Oh my goodness, if this thing goes green to the end, we might see some guys make it to the end. How about Bouchard? He's just going to flat out stay out right now. This is not a good move at all. It's been since lap 20 since these guys have come down the pit lane. Bouchard is definitely going to have to come in once they restart. But these guys, 19 laps to go right now. Most of these guys should be able to make it on 19 laps, including the caution laps, but there still might be some that won't, and those guys could be the leaders once we get to the late part of this race. Anyways, Tristan Allen came down the pit lane first. We'll see where he comes out in relation to everybody else in the number 2 machine. It looks like it's a 4-tire stop for everybody on the pit lane, and it looks like it's going to be Tristan Allen winning the race off the pit lane in the number 2. Then it's going to be Cameron Garlington, Hergil Arvin Alonso, Reagan Whitlock, and I believe Colin Driver beat out Zachary Fitzwater for the 5th position. 2 guys stayed out. Actually, 1 guy stayed out. That was Daniel Bouchard, but he's going to have to make another stop here very shortly in the number 11. And Ace Garcia is a lap down in the number 23. Tristan Allen is not the leader quite yet, but Bouchard's going to have to come down here, at least on the restart, so the number 2 of Allen will be the leader eventually. And it's Cameron Garlington, Hergil Arvin Alonso, Reagan Whitlock, and Colin Driver takes 5th away from Fitzwater because he beat him off the pit lane. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution here at the Kentucky Speedway in the Tire Rack 400. And this is what happened here. Ricky Stevenson, a great run to the inside. He slid up the racetrack, however, because he just went in the turn a little too hot. He bumped Jordan Lopez up the racetrack, and Daniel McMillan was to his outside. They hook right there, and into the outside wall hard goes the number 17 of Jordan Lopez with Daniel McMillan. Lopez is going to be out of the race, and McMillan might be out as well in the number 95 after this accident on lap 34 of 54 here in the Tire Rack 400. You see what ensues there. The only 2 drivers involved in the crash, fortunately, but still an unfortunate one for the Thanksgiving 500 winner from last year, Jordan Lopez. Going to replay this one in real time following the number 17. Stevenson came in with a full head of steam, pushed him up the racetrack. Lopez tried to get out of the way, but McMillan was there. And the number 17 majorly torn up here in this one. Tristan Allen is still the leader here at the Kentucky Speedway. And after this commercial break, we'll see what he does on the restart here in the Tire Rack 400.
Just get home from school, you got nothing to do? Well then, turn on your computer and listen to the NRLOA podcast, where we bring you up to date on all things all stock car racing and NASCAR, and on your local short track near you. We'll have things such as Modified and Mock Series Corner, followed by PCS Rated WRLA, and so much more.
I think Elliott Sadler can probably win the race.
It's the NRLOA podcast every Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com/MaxTheHedgehog77.
Back here at the Kentucky Speedway, and these guys, they should be done on pit stops in this race. I mean, it is lap 38 of 54. They came down with 19 to go. With the caution laps, they should be good on fuel to the end. There is no overtime here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so these guys should not have much to worry about, but getting the win, of course, and they're going to be fighting hard for that. Tristan Allen, the leader, in the number 2. Sure, he loves that. Cameron Garlington runs in the 2nd position, the Daytona 500 champion, trying to grab his 2nd win of the season. Hergil Arvin Alonso, another guy who really wants to get a win. He's running 3rd. Reagan Whitlock, Colin Driver, Zachary Fitzwater, another guy I can tell you wants to get a win and lock himself into the chase. Alexander Rowe's already in the chase, along with Caleb Hoffman. They both have won this season. And Richard Kinghart and Elijah Gordon, the NRLOA 500 champion from earlier this season. Number 2, Tristan Allen gets the jump on the start. and drives away from Ace Garcia. That's exactly what Tristan Allen wants to do. Alonso's going to split the 23 and possibly get around Garlington for second. But Garlington will clear the number 10 off the corner, I do believe. And Garlington will remain in the second position for now. Alonso trying to get this inside lane to work. He's going to dive it in the corner, but he's not going to be able to get around Garlington. Reagan Whitlock running fourth. Colin Driver running in the fifth position, and it's Fitzwater, Rowe, Hoffman, John Arndt, the defending winner of this race, is moving his way up. He's another guy who really wants to get a win and lock himself into the chase. Jay Jefferson as well. A lot of these guys, they're close to the win. They want to get it done here tonight because there's only 2 more races left until the regular season ends to get it done if you want to make the chase. Tristan Allen still out front. Cameron Garlington, Herjol, Arvin, Alonso, the top 3. Alex NRLOA went 3 wide. For the 4th position, Rowe's going to take it away. Hoffman for 5th to the inside of Driver. Here comes Arndt, Jefferson, and Eli Bright on the inside lane. Lap 41 of 54 here at the Kentucky Speedway in the Tire Rack 400. Alonso still trying to get around Cameron Garlington for the 2nd position. He just cannot get to the inside of him. And that's good news for Cameron Garlington, because if they don't go side by side for second, they're going to close in to Tristan Allen more. Tristan Allen wants to see those guys go side by side. That slows them down so he can pull away and get this win. Number 27, Alex NRLOA, the defending winner of the Valvoline 400 last Saturday, up to 3rd. He got around here, Joe and Alonso very quickly. Alonso, Hoffman, and Arndt right behind here. They still have a chance. Garlington, he might not be able to hold off this 27. Alex NRLOA seems to be very fast right now in this RCR machine. Matthew Phillips, the owner of this team, they got their first win of the season last Saturday. They may go 2 in a row here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I'm Tristan Allen. I am not looking forward to seeing that 27 right behind me because it's going to happen. Hoffman also moving his way up through the field very well, and so is John Arndt in the number 24. A lot can happen here tonight. If Tristan Allen wins, that's his first career win on Napa Fan. If John Arndt wins, it's the first time the 24 has won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Alonso wins, it's going to be his first time in the chase. A lot can happen here tonight. If Hoffman wins, he becomes the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. And Alex NRLOA, he can become the first driver to win 2 races in a row this season. Cameron Garlington get his 2nd win of the season after winning the Daytona 500. So many storylines could happen from the winner of this race. I believe the caution is back out. Allen's going to barely win the race back to the line. Garlington had a run to the inside, could not do it. And yet another crash here at Kentucky. Cody Sill, the Las Vegas winner, with major damage in the Chip Ganassi racing machine. Well, we're going to have ourselves a late race restart, and that means that we're not going to have anybody on the inside lane. So it's going to be a flat-out fight to the finish. Now, here's a good question. Are these guys going to come down the pit lane so they know they can make it to the end, or are they going to stay out and just race it to the end? I just don't know. We're going to see right here. I believe they're going to stay out. No need to come down. You're good on fuel. And it's going to be a fight to the finish between these guys running up front right now. Tristan Allen is still out front. He led every single lap under that green flag run. But Garlington almost led that last lap to win the race back to the line. Allen got him on the outside. And if Allen wins this race, he earned it in the number 2. Hoffman 3rd, Arndt, Rowe, Alonso, Lagasse, Gordon, and Fitzwater, along with Ricky Stevenson. Stevenson has found his way in the top 10. Half of these guys have won this season. Garlington, Hoffman, Rowe, Lagasse, Gordon, and Stevenson. 6 of these guys are already locked into the chase. The other 4 trying to race their way into the chase for season number 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the 3rd caution here at the Kentucky Speedway. They can do 4 wide okay here at Kentucky, but I don't think 5 wide works too well. Marty Johnson, Garrett Tenor, Cody Sill, Ryan Madden, and Blaine Keys. 5 wide exiting turn number 2, just too close for comfort between the 1 and the 77. And they bump around a little bit, and Cody Sill hard into the outside wall with Blaine Keys and Ryan Madden. The only 3 drivers involved in this crash, fortunately. But especially for Cody Sill, they were majorly involved here. And Cody Sill, he's going to be knocked out for the rest of the race, no doubt. Ryan Madden should be able to continue. I don't think he gained too much damage, but Blaine Keys, he's got front-end damage there. I just don't know about these guys, but they're not going to have a chance of winning. Going to have a very late race restart here in Kentucky. I just don't see these guys having a chance at winning. I'll replay this one in real time. And Cody Sill, this is going to be a massively hard hit for the number 1. He pops that 48 around as well. And they tried to go 5 wide off the corner. I mean, obviously, that's just not going to work. Not enough room to do that here in Kentucky. Yes, it is a wide racetrack, but you still can't do 5 wide. And unfortunately, Cody Sill, Ryan Madden, and Blaine Keys pay the price here in the Tire Rack 400. On board, the number 1 of Cody Sill for this incident. He got the hardest hit in this one, and it's going to be a rough ride for the Chip Ganassi Racing driver. Just an unfortunate night for Cody Sill, but he is already locked into the chase along with Blaine Keys. Ryan Madden, on the other hand, is going to have to win in the next couple of races if he's going to make the chase. Anyways, we're not going to have a commercial break, so we're going to get right to the restart. Tristan Allen is the leader in the number 2. We'll see what he does when we return here to the Kentucky Speedway in the Tire Rack 400. Back here at the Kentucky Speedway, we will restart with 6 laps to go in the Tire Rack 400. And a lot of these guys looking to make history here tonight. Tristan Allen trying to grab his first career win. Cameron Garlington trying to win the Daytona 500 in a second race this season. That usually happens every season. The Daytona 500 champion usually wins a second time. Caleb Hoffman trying to become the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. John Arndt trying to become the first driver to take the 24 to victory lane in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Alexander Rowe trying to become the first back-to-back winner this season. Alonso trying to make it into the chase for the first time in his career. Then it's Al Legacy, Elijah Gordon, Zachary Fitzwater, and Ricky Stevenson, the top 10. Coming to the restart. It's 6 laps to go here at Kentucky. Pace cars pulled off. Who's going to win the Tire Rack 400 here tonight? The number 2 is going to stay out front for now, but there's nobody on the inside lane to hold everybody else up. And Tristan Allen's definitely going to have to work hard for this victory here tonight. 5 veteran drivers in the top 5 right now with only 6 laps to go. Cameron Garlington, he almost won the race back to the line. He wants to get around this number 2. He's going to get to the inside of him. That's not good at all for the number 2 of Tristan Allen. He gets stuck in that outside lane. He's going to fall way back into number 2. Cameron Garlington takes it with 5 laps to go in the Tire Rack 400. 3 wide, Alonso to the inside of John Arndt and Tristan Allen. And Allen, he is going to fall back tremendously after getting stuck 3 wide on the outside. Caleb Hoffman right behind Cameron Garlington for the lead. The number 14 might get a run to the inside of him. Not going to happen quite yet. John Arndt still in 3rd. Alonso 4th. Elijah Gordon up to 5th. There goes Hoffman to the inside of Garlington. They're side by side at the line. And Caleb Hoffman will lead it with 4 laps to go in the Tire Rack 400. John Arndt trying to go back-to-back in this race. The number 10 of Herjalarvin Alonso trying to make it into the chase for the first time in his career. Elijah Gordon trying to win his 2nd race of the season for Hendrick Motorsports. But it's Caleb Hoffman in his final season on Napa Fan, leading the field with 3 laps to go in the Tire Rack 400. But his teammate, Herjalarvin Alonso, is going to get a run to the inside of John Arndt for 2nd. And he's going to get a run to the inside for the lead with 3 laps to go at Kentucky. Elijah Gordon right behind. 2 of the front row guys, Ricky Stevenson and Al Legacy back in here. They're trying to get a chance at this victory. Hoffman back to 3rd. Ricky Stevenson moving up through the field very fast. Hoffman blocks them in the 14. That's going to slow the momentum down for the 38. And this might be between Elijah Gordon and Herjalarvin Alonso. 2 to go for the number 10. But there goes the 5 to the inside, taking it with 2 laps to go. Don't look now, but here comes Ricky Stevenson and Al Legacy, Front Row Motorsports teammates, helping each other here, looking to possibly get this win, but I believe this one might be over. Elijah Gordon is pulling away right now in the number 5, and they're side by side for 2nd. It's the white flag for Elijah Gordon in the Tire Rack 400. He's trying to get his second win of the season, his third of his career in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. They're 3 wide for second as Al Legacy tries to get to the inside of Stevenson and Alonso. Alonso's going to fall back in the number 10. And the number 5 of Elijah Gordon. He won the NRLOA 500 on Thursday. And just a couple races later, coming in at turn number 4, Elijah Gordon will win his second race of the season at the Kentucky Speedway. Elijah Gordon wins the Tire Rack 400 in Season 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. A very strong pass on Alonso late in the going, and he's going to come home with the victory here in the Tire Rack 400. And that top 10's a lot different than what it was when we started that restart. They passed like crazy near the end of this one. But it's Elijah Gordon, the winner here at the Kentucky Speedway in the 14th race of the season. His second win of the season. The second driver to win 2 races this season. And with that, that's going to guarantee 4 drivers into the chase on points alone. 4 of them. So those guys up there in the points, they're going to have a good chance at making the chase this season because of this race. Tristan Allen, not the best result he wanted, 12th. He was leading coming to the restart, did not get it. And the number 5 of Elijah Gordon comes home with the victory here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway. Beats out Ricky Stevenson, Al Legacy, Alexander Rowe, and Chris Skinlart at the line. Those rookies came up the field very quickly near the end there. A lot of veterans up front. Of course, it was a veteran winning, but a lot of the veterans who were running up front, they fell back, and the rookies came up and stole their positions away. But it's Elijah Gordon, the winner here at Kentucky. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And you see all the guys involved in accidents here tonight. I'm not sure what happened to Donovan Duthit. He might have had a similar issue to Jesse Turner. I did not see him involved in a crash or anything, but he failed to finish here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway, driving to number 18 for Josh Crash and Joe Gibbs Racing. Anyways, very entertaining race here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway, and Elijah Gordon comes home with the victory, his second of the season. That's 2 more bonus points, 2 more playoff points, I should say, towards the chase, and those are going to come in handy. Because they're going to carry over in each round, and if you got a lot of playoff points, you're going to have a good chance at advancing on the next round, and that's what Elijah Gordon wants to do here. His 3rd career Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory, and his 2nd of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, season number 6. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the point standings for Season 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after race 14, and there are only 2 more regular season races left to go. Wednesday, it's Nashville. And Saturday, it is Indianapolis. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching once again. Congratulations to Elijah Gordon, and I will see you guys later. And we're still recording. Hello, friends.